So last night um, in the U.S., this morning here in Kyiv, I was welcomed into my first live by a bunch of great guys. I want to thank Amanda Rose, Scott, Barrister, Legal Dad, and Zerman Zane. I really appreciated it, folks. It was great. Thank you. But something came up in that conversation. Mr. Zane said, I've been thinking about going to Ukraine and seeing if I couldn't be of some help over there. So I want to give everybody my top 5 things to think about if you're seriously considering devoting some of your life to this cause, which I encourage you to give serious consideration to. The Ukrainian people are the front line in the fight for democracy against autocracy in the 21st century. I firmly believe that we are at an inflection point in history, and these folks need all the help they can get. You've got something like 13 million Ukrainians in a country of only 44 million displaced from this evil. This mad genocidal lunatic trying to grind an entire part of civilized Europe into dust. So if you're going to think about coming over here, there are a couple of things to think about. And I'd like to give you my top 5 based on my experience of coming here to Kyiv and the first 4 months I've been here. The first thing is come through an NGO. Know who you're going to be working with, what you're going to be doing, who can take advantage of and make use of your skills. And there's a bunch of websites out there. Check United 24, check Ukraine Volunteers, those kinds of things. Poke around the internet. If you know anybody from Ukraine, talk to them. Get a plan, apply to an NGO that can make use of your skills and come through them. Now, not all those organizations are going to have housing available. So if they don't, then you also have to make a plan for yourself and your daily life. And you got to have a backup plan too. I'll tell you a story real quick. I thought I could just get a house on Airbnb, right? There was all this talk about Airbnb in Ukraine. So I booked a place through Airbnb for the first month I was going to be here. I got to Kyiv. I got in the cab. I went to the address. There's number 1. There's number 2. There's no number 3. What? The address did not exist. And fortunately, it was through Airbnb, so I got my money back. No problem. But it was some scammer who had put this thing up on Airbnb and was taking donations, right? Guys, there's a lot of scammers here. There are people who have Patreons who are raking in money, claiming that they're fighting for the Foreign Service, and they're not. I've met some folks here that are clearly up to no good, that are trying to take advantage of this situation for their own selfish needs, as if things aren't bad enough. And when they're Americans, it pisses me off like you wouldn't believe. So so those are the first 2 things, right? Come through an NGO, have a plan. Now, look, this is a major European capital. I thought I had a plan, but it fell through. So what did I do? I said to the cabbie, I got to get a hotel. Take me to a hotel. And I have a points program, so I went to a hotel that's affiliated with my points program. The Ibis Center City in Kyiv. I can't recommend it enough. The staff are amazing. They have the best breakfast buffet in the city. It's unbelievable, and it's only $12, about $12. But the hotel's $70 a night. So every week, I was spending about $600 with breakfast in the hotel. And you got to be prepared for that. This is a major European capital. Don't expect that it's going to be cheap. If you're self-funding, you're going to have expenses. Make sure that you've got the cash to back yourself up. So come with an NGO, have a plan, know that you have the resources. Make sure, number 4, that your affairs are in order. Look, This is a war zone. I've never been in a city that was under missile attack before. I've never been in a fist fight in my life, let alone in a war zone. And it's a real thing. You could not come back. Think about that. So know that at home, whoever it is that expects you to take care of them, they're taken care of. And that's signed, sealed, and delivered. Be prepared to not come back. And then finally, check your ego at the fucking door. Just because you're an American with 30 years of international business experience, or you're a world-renowned doctor, or whatever it is you are, you're in a major European capital with world-class people. If you don't think that this place is populated by world-class people, you are not paying attention to the way that this war has been prosecuted. These people have done so much with so little for so long, they are now qualified to do anything with nothing. It's amazing. And they're not taking bullshit from anybody, and neither should they. So check your ego at the door. These folks are the only folks in the world right now bleeding for the fundamental right to exist, self-determination of an emergent democracy. And anybody that believes that democracy is the very worst form of government that man has ever created, except for all the others, should be willing to do something to help them. Now, look, that's quite a checklist, right? Not everybody can do that. I dig that. But there are things you can do without leaving home. And I'll be talking more about those over the next week. So again, let's look at that list. What is it that you want to think about if you're thinking about coming here? 1, you want to come through an NGO. 2, you want to have a plan. 3, you want to appreciate you're in a major European capital and have the resources to fund yourself or get the support from somebody who can help you. 4, put your affairs in order. You got to go all in here. And 5, check your ego at the door. You do that, and you might just have the opportunity that I've had. I'll tell you, I've been here for 4 months, and I can say without doubt that I have been given more from these folks than I have been able to return. And I keep working to try to give it back. Think about it.